record button. Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers, aka Jess. And just kidding, Sarah and Callahan for being dog moms. I got like text today like, Happy Mother's Day to you, dog mama. And I was like, oh. Then I feel like you make real moms mad because they're like, you're stupid. I got in an argument on Facebook. I didn't actually get in an argument, but a lady was full-fledged like saying you're a dog mama is degrading to real moms. And I was like, I don't think that's the point. Like, the point isn't to say I'm equivalent to a person who pushed out a baby and raised the baby. Okay. Anyways, wrong tangent. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here so we can talk about this. Okay, I got to find the right place to put this bar. It's making me angry. Probably down here on the bottom. Nope, not on the bottom. Sorry, stop it. It won't go where I want it to go. There. Okay, that's all. How to create an income producing business. So this is more of a pep talk than kind of like a logistical thing, because there are thousands of videos on logistics. So going through like how to do your tracker or going through those kinds of things, I think it's just better if we can spend like these next few Sundays like kind of working on some personal development and working on like our competence and who we are as people and figuring out who we are, how we coach, that kind of stuff. Because I mean, there's thousands of videos on how to do your tracker, how to, kind of create reels, like all that kind of stuff. And so I don't want to like reinvent the wheel. So how to create an income producing business. First, announcements. So let's get up, use it to your advantage. This is something like I thought would be a lot harder to sell, because I thought like people would be like, not really a dancer, like not going to do it. But I would say 90% of the human beings that I talk to about Let's Get Up is like, oh my God, that looks like the most fun thing on the planet. Like, I can't wait to do it. And so really use it to your advantage. Even if you're doing a different program, do some of like the fun remixes. Like, I know Sarah and Jess in the team page were talking about what are some reel ideas. Maybe once a week you go on and you do the little, he has the energized moment and the shareable moment. And he has the stuff on his Instagram and the Let's Get Up Instagram, like remix that reel, which means it's like side by side, and dance to that. Like use it to your advantage to show how fun it is and stuff like that, right? FOMO is a big thing, fear of missing out. And so use it to your advantage. Trip to Arizona. So it's exciting. There are 2 spots left. And to get your way there, be the coach that adds the most coaches to earn your spot. So Andrea Hansen, actually, because we all got to pick +1s if we earned it through like the diamond incentive. And so my +1 is Jess. Angie is still undecided, working on what she's doing with her life. But she still has 2 weeks for qual anyways. Well, a week and a half. So exciting. And then Andrea Hansen's bringing Brittany Need. So Brittany Need was the other one who was like on the leaderboard for adding coaches to go. And so now it's Sarah G is first on the leaderboard, and then Ashley Anderson and Sarah Landis are tied. So like quite literally, guys, the 9th? We're 9 days, almost a third of the way through May. And it is very likely that our team would be the ones taking the 2 spots, which I think would be amazing. Like I want as much of our team going on it as possible. And so Sarah has 3, and then Ashley and Sarah have 1. So the thing is like, it is anyone's game at this point. So even if you're someone watching this replay or someone on here and you're like, well, I don't know, like I can't earn the spot. Like stop saying you can't, because you can. Like, thanks, Jess. Like you can do it. So stop saying you can't. It just, that picture shows a little bit, right? June 13th through the 16th, you just have to pay your flight and groceries. Sunrise mountain hike. I'm so freaking excited to hike in Arizona. So exciting. That's going to be the most beautiful thing. I can't wait to see a real cactus. Oh, so excited. My whole classroom is cacti. And so my kids, I'm going to take pictures with the cactus. And then next year when they come into my room, I'm going to put them like everywhere. Me with real cacti, because my kids know. Girl time. Oh, it is like, I mean, the top leaders going to this. I mean, it is just going to be the best thing ever. Sunset photo shoot that Andrea is providing, team dinner, gifts, and memories for a lifetime. This is going to be the best trip ever. I can't wait. Sorry, Angie. This is going to be better than bachelorette party. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Can you tell I am hyper tonight? Summer Strong free group. So I'm going to run a free group starting on May 17th that anyone can add. It'll be 7 days and no bod account required. So it'll be like how we've done it before, right? So like there's a workout they're going to do, they click and they get the free video and stuff. I just never have good luck with people actually signing up for the free trial because I think they think we're trying to like trick them into a subscription and whatever. So that is starting next Monday. So if you want something to talk about, I talk about it all this week and invite, like I will, all my invites this week will be for the Summer Strong free group. It's purposely named the Summer Strong free group because the Summer Strong sale is going on and we have $20 off challenge packs. So, right, it's going to kind of lead into that. For this month, all we know is that it's for this month, but last year they did the Summer Strong sale literally all summer, like it was through August. So who knows? And then Summit is July 14th through the 17th. It's $120 for your apartment spot. I know Angie is going, I'm going, Sarah G's going, Whitney Johnson's going, and I think that's it right now. But there's still spots available. It's like 100, I think it's not even 120. What is it, Sarah? Did I say like $111 for your apartment and then food and whatever? So it's actually going to be really fun. Corporate trainings, rooftop workouts. It's just going to be fun again. And guys, these trips create the most amount of FOMO. Like Angie can probably tell you too. Whenever I get the most amount of signups, it is revolving an event we go to. And in-person events are literally the best part of coaching. Like getting to be surrounded by these like go-getter human beings makes you feel like you could literally go out and become president of the United States. Like they just are, they set your soul on fire. And I wish I could see them every week of my life. And so these trips are just amazing. You don't want to miss it. Anyways, on to the real show. Angie, I want you to talk about this.
Okay. You must have taken Energize or something.
I actually didn't. I'm just really fired up.
So here we are. We're going to talk about the basics. And the first basics that we're going to talk about is your why. Why are you here? So your why should be big enough for you to make you consistently show up. So when we talk about your why, like what is it for you exactly? I don't know if you heard that. That's my dryer. It's fine. Anyway, but your why needs to be personal. So what keeps you up at night dreaming about your future, and what is it that keeps you fueled? Right away for me, when I signed up for coaching, right, it was just for the discount to pay for my Shakeology. But especially during COVID, it took off, realizing that I had a passion for helping others and I wanted them to see the difference that it had made for me, not necessarily on the scale, but my confidence and the strength that I've gained through Beachbody and coaching. I wanted others to see that and gain that for me. And now it's for me to have that life that I've always dreamed of, to make sure that my future children are going to have what they need and to feel safe enough and be able to come to me and be like, hey, can we buy this, and not have to worry about like the fact that finances could be tight or something like that, to be able to take them on those trips, similar to like what Brianna says too. So like, what is your why? What is that feels? So your why can't be about money, but it can be what money can do for you. Okay. And that's where we need to differentiate the difference here with your why. I know a lot of us worries about it like coming off salesy. If you have your why and it's about what money can do for you and what it can do for others, it's not going to come across salesy. It's going to come across like, what can this do for your life and make a difference? Okay. So your why needs a bulletproof why to get you through the tough times. Your why has to be about you and for you and your family, whatever it is. Because if you don't, like, let's say, you had a rough month of signing people up, it's going to be easy to get defeated and want to quit. And that's why you need that bulletproof why, because if you don't, you're just going to fall apart. Your why will always evolve. Like I said, my why first started out of, I want to be able to pay for my Shakeology. And now it's like, no, I want this to be my future. Like, I'm so passionate about this. So let's do this. And I know Brianna's why has probably slowly evolved too. And it'll continue to evolve with the different places that we're at in our life. And that's what we need to remember is our why will constantly evolve. We just need to remember to keep that why at the heart, at the center of what we do.
Yeah. And your why, to add to that, keep asking yourself why. Like, so say Like my why is financial freedom. Well, why? Because I remember when I was growing up and like to go bowling one night for our family fun night, like we literally had to dig through the change jar and get quarters up. And like my why is because like I want to pay off debt. I want to be able to go on vacations. Like I want to give my family things I never was able to do. Like I want my kids to grow up in a household where their parents are healthy and they have healthy habits, because my parents, I mean, smoke, drink constantly, like we're never home because they were always at the bar, and I don't want my family in that environment. So you have to keep digging deeper, because if I just say like, well, I want to be a good parent, well, what does that mean? And so keep digging deeper and deeper in your why, to the point where it's like you could cry. Like when you think about why you're doing it, it should make you be on the brink of tears. Like, guys, I was running today for 30-day breakaway, and I literally was thinking of my why over and over again, because I really wanted to quit, because my legs were so sore and I just wanted to be done. And I kept thinking of my why, and I was literally like wanting to cry while I ran because it's so strong. So if you are like, well, my why doesn't really get me up for the day, then you need to dig deeper into your why. Because when my alarm clock goes off in the morning and I don't want to get out of bed, I think of, if I don't do this, then like, I'm not going to have the freedom I'm dreaming of. I'm not, right? Like my why right now is to finish our base, like to get enough money to finish Shane's shop, to finish our basement, because once it's finished, we can have a baby, and I want a baby. And so, yeah, dig deeper.
And I was going to add to that too. If you need to write down your why, whether that's in your journal or write it on your freaking mirror in your bathroom, write it down so you see it every single day so it fuels you up. But the first thing you need to do is establish what your why is. So,
yep. And it's supposed to be selfish. So like Angie has on here, like it needs to be about you. In a book I'm reading, I've been reading really good books on like Build to Last and Get Over Your Damn Self. And they say like, it has to be selfish. Like your why has to be about you. It can't be about your spouse. It can't be about anyone else. It has to be about you, because at the end of the day, like we are selfish creatures at the core. And so it needs to be something that you are going to keep yourself accountable for. Okay, self-limiting beliefs. Oh, I guess I got to move this so that we can see what that says. So fear is the number one thing holding us back, right? I talk to a lot of people who get nervous about fear and nervous about like what others will think. What if they fail? What if? And it's a continuous learning cycle. If you are worried about self-limiting beliefs and failing, you need to order the book Failing Forward by John Maxwell, because literally, and I've heard it from Top Coach and Top Coach again, is we're in the business of doing and then like realigning what we did to be perfect. Like the first time I ran a free group, it was definitely far from perfect, but I learned what worked, what didn't work, and I adjusted. Even now, still continuously figuring out like reels, right? Like how do I create a reel? How do I have my challengers be more on task? I think of like Sarah G talked about how she does the close friends. So you might have noticed on your Instagram, you're in my close friends thing, because I'm trying to use that to connect to my challengers more and give them more value. So we just have to keep learning. And I love that on here it says like words are powerful. So what story are you telling yourself? If you're telling yourself no one wants to buy anything, no one's signing up, no one sees the value in this, you're right. Like what you put into the universe is going to come back to you. So if you say like, I'm going to hit Success Club, this is going to happen, like no excuses, it's going to become a thing. But so many of us like are so scared of what this girl from high school might say to us. I don't give a crap what the girl from high school, I purposely moved 5 hours away from home for a reason. Like I invite everyone, because if you like, most 99% of the time they're like, no, like not right now, but keep rocking it, like you're doing amazing. And so I think we create these fear scenarios in our head that they're going to tell us like, no, you're annoying, why don't you go jump off a cliff? And no one's going to say that. And so we create these scenarios in our head that we're not good enough, which is completely the opposite. And so many people wish they had your confidence, your skills, your ability to share this, and they're just too scared to do so. And so you can show them to push past the fear.
I just really want to emphasize the part too that we'll never perfect the art of this. Like Brianna said, it's always a learning cycle, that new things are going to come out. We're going to share different tips. Like you said, like Sarah G likes to focus on like her close friends. Like that's something I've never thought about, you know, and you have to try out what's new for you. And that's part of it that we have to remember. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of books. If you struggle with fear and self-limiting beliefs, Get Out of Your Head by Jeannie Allen is the best book you could possibly read ever. I mean, I think it's the best book on the planet. But it's all about how our brain, and maybe some of you guys are like this, right? Like I drive in the rain and I'm like, what if another car comes across the median and they crash head onto me and then I die, and like, right, I break both my legs and I'm in a cast, you know, or I'm in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, and then my husband won't love me anymore and he'll leave me, right? And you're like, where did this come from? Like, I mean, that's a different example, but anyone else do that where like they create these stories in their head of like, oh my God, my challenger is going to have a bad experience. And then they're going to go on Facebook and they're going to tell everyone that I'm the worst coach on the planet and all my people are going to quit and it's just going to go downhill. Like, no, not going to happen. Like, just take a deep breath. You're good. Do you want to go first on this one or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. So stick to the basics, also known as doing your tracker. The tracker is literally the guide to do the things that will create success in your business. They have it, they've primarily have moved it to an online platform. I still use the paper tracker because I'm old fashioned. But you literally go through it and it tells you what to do. You know, make those connections, you know, comment on people's coach so they know that you're alive and here. You know, posting about your daily life, and it doesn't have to be every 10 seconds, but I mean, there's the things, right? Daily life. So something outside of coaching. So like a lot for me, what I'll post about is teaching stuff, you know, and then being proof of the product, your Shakeology or your workouts. Then a call to action, you know, join me in this free group or whatever it is. Let me send you a sample workout, some sort of call to action for them to be like, oh, I need to reply to this kind of thing. All of that, I can't see the tracker because it's blurry, but those are just really things you don't, commenting in your groups, doing personal development. That's a huge one. If we're going to help others, we have to help ourselves by growing and learning each day. So those things literally will give you, like, I've seen success in it, that when I do it, that's where the success comes from, is when you fill out your tracker. That is part of it. And well, then the biggest thing I just forgot was invites, which are probably the scariest things. But they will help you the most, right? So start small, but learn to get uncomfortable. So we need to turn those 3 invites a day that we're doing to the 10 invites we're doing a day, or however you want to do that method. I know I used to be so scared of invites. And now we just have to push out the fear and say, no, like, I'm doing this because I'm helping someone. Remembering your why when you send the invite is going to make it 10 times easier when you do that. And then turn the 2 posts a week to every day. We all have something to share, whether that's your story, whatever it is. We always have something to share each day. So don't be afraid to be that person that posts every day. There is nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't need to take all times of the day. Honestly, it takes, if you sit down and really focus, set timers, you can get your tracker done in 30 minutes. Find those, and either the 30 minutes or your pockets of time throughout the day. I'll do it a lot during my prep hour, whatever it is. So yes. Brianna, go ahead.
Yeah, and I added on there the easiest and fastest way. So we talked about how to make this in an income producing business. The easiest and fastest way to increase your income is to increase your invites and connections, right? So, you know, the only way, like when I think of my best months as a coach, my best income months came when I like 10x'd it, right? So not literally 10x'ing, but when I started the month by sending 20 to 25 invites every single day, when I made 50 connections a day, when I, right, like I do my tracker 2 or 3 times because I was like, well, I need to increase my income. And so I'm going to make more time to do this. And so that's the easiest and fastest way. Is it the only way? No, but that is like, if you have a goal and you really want to hit that goal right away, you just got to do more, which some people, right? Like, I'm not saying work your whole life. Don't, you know, take care of your family and stuff, but there has to, like, Shane understands I need to do my tracker each day. And that's an understanding we have. And like when I was in Team Cup, I told him, like, I'm going to work more this month. Like, this is what I'm doing because I have these goals. And if I work my ass off right now, I can, right, like down the road, we have a life where maybe we can like not work 9 to 5 jobs. Like, my biggest thing is Shane doesn't really like his job. He doesn't hate it anymore, but he doesn't really like it. And I'm like, what if Like I totally look at the top coaches and I'm like, they literally brought their husbands home because they made more money than their salary and their husband's salary together. And what if Shane could actually come home and do what he loves? So that's the easiest and fastest way. The other thing is how many days a week should you do your tracker? At least 5. So I try to do it. If I'm not doing anything on a weekend, I definitely do it 7 days a week because the more you do it, the better off you are. But I also understand like we have stuff going on, especially with summer. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with taking the weekends off, or, sometimes I've traded, like when I used to work at the center on Tuesdays, like I wouldn't do it on Tuesday, but then I do it on Sunday. So my thing is you have to be really strict with your goals and, not let excuse after excuse be like, oh, well, I have a meeting tonight, so I'm not going to do it tonight or whatever. Like, don't let that become your crutch. And so that's why I say stick to at least 5 days a week. And if I don't, right, if I skip 2 days during the week, you can bet on Saturday and Sunday I'm doing my tracker no matter what. So do that. Okay. It takes time. I wanted to talk about this because people are like, well, I'm kind of doing my tracker and I'm posting and I'm talking. Oh, wait, one more thing I wanted to talk about on this. I literally wrote it on my sticky note as Angie was talking, is I was talking to Sarah G, and Sarah G was talking about how she had a close friend, someone who was actually in her wedding that signed up with another coach. Like Sarah's a coach. Like this was someone in her wedding. But if you are not posting, if you're not talking about it on your stories, if you are not inviting, people don't know you're open for business. Like think of it as a storefront, right? If I was a store who never advertised, never did any of that, never talked about my products, like no one knows that like you're even there to sign up, right? And so talking about it, Angie is so good at always talking on her stories about it. And there's nothing salesy about that. You know what I think is salesy? When people just post a graphic and say, look at this, and it's a graphic. And I'm like, that literally took no effort. You're not telling me anything about it. You're not showing me why I should use it. I don't think you even use it. So why should I? But when you're talking about how it's changing your life, how your workout pushed you, how all of these things, like it's not salesy. You're showing them that you use it, it works, and it can work for them too. So I definitely think you have to think of your Instagram as a storefront. And if you aren't posting about joining you, people don't know they can even join you. They don't even know that's an option. Okay. It takes time. So the invites you send today will be your signups months from now, right? There are so many people always ask me like, how many times do you reinvite people, until they tell me no or block me? Because a lot of times the invites I send 1 month, they won't sign up for, months to come. So you might do your tracker consistently for a month and not see much traction, but you have to keep going. To be honest, I didn't start making like an actual income above my products until I was coaching for about a year. And I'd say out of that year, maybe 6 months, I was consistent with my tracker. And then after 6 months, it got a little easier. I still had like last year still, after my first year of coaching, that's when I drew the line in the sand. I said, I am going to, like, no matter what, I'm doing my tracker. I'm going to hit Success Club. I drew the line in the sand, and every month I hit Success Club after that. And I haven't not missed it, but you have to keep going. Right? You may be so frustrated because you're like, I sent 10 invites today and got ghosted by all of them. But then they'll come out of the woodworks in the next month and be like, oh, like, now what do you have going on? And you're like, I messaged you like 10,000 times and you've never responded to me. Like, what is going on? And so you have to remember that it takes time, and you have to build that know, like, and trust factor. So when we jump back and forth on the bandwagon, off the bandwagon, like, here I am, here I'm not, here I am, like, I'm a coach, now I'm not, I'm doing workouts, now I'm not, and back and forth, that actually really hurts our business, because it kind of is like, well, if you can't stay on track with stuff, how are you going to keep me on track for stuff? So remember that number one is being your best challenger. Okay. Second bullet point, income builds and compounds as you have new challengers, people renewing, and people getting new products, coaches getting added, all that. So you think about, this is really a compound effect. It's not a get rich quick scheme, because you think all those people I signed up a year ago, I'm talking to them about renewing with challenge packs, because we all know that's the best deal, right? They're going to pay $100 to sign up, where they could, with those codes we had, $100 to get a challenge pack. So you think every month I talk to all my people who signed up a year ago. So I already hit Success Club with the people I hit Success Club with last year. And then you're signing up these new people. You have your people who are buying Shakeology, buying Let's Get Up early access, all these people who are building. If you're in the Success Club lead program, I have people who are renewing on Success Club lead program that I've never met in my life. And I'm getting paid for those human beings. And so you just have to understand, like, you might not make $1 million right now, but I should have done a chart, but Lord knows I wouldn't make the time to do it. Like, I remember my first year, so March, the first month as a coach, March 2019, I made 70 something dollars. A year later, March 2020, I made like $700 that month. And I was like, hey, this is cool. Like, that paid my mortgage. Like, that's pretty lit. This March, I made $1,800. So, like, you look at, if you stick with it and you stay the course and you don't give up, you're going to continue to build. It compounds. It can't not compound if you're doing the tasks. Okay. And the gold is in the follow-up. People always ask me, how many times do you follow up? Make sure if you send out, if someone says they want more details, I follow up with them. You can bet with Let's Get Up starting tomorrow. Like, I've been in people's inbox that I've talked to, and I've been like, hey, just so you know, like, this challenge group is starting tomorrow, and I don't want you to like miss out. And so gold is in the follow-up. The easy follow-up message I send is like, hey, so-and-so, I just want you to know I'm still thinking about you, and I'm here when you're ready to sign up, but we have a new challenge group coming soon, and let me know if you want the details. Because I am thinking about them. Or I will quite literally, graduation's a huge thing right now. Everyone's graduating. So I just message them and I say, like, hey, congrats on graduating. I hope school's going well. Where's your next steps? And have a conversation with them and remind them that I'm thinking about them and that I care about what their life, I care about what's going on in their life. And then they're going to say, like, oh, this person isn't just selling me a challenge pack. I heard someone told me the other day that they felt like they've known me, like they felt like I was their childhood best friend, and they don't even, like, we've never met in real life. And this was someone who I maybe had 3 conversations with. And so it's like, that was the best compliment I ever could have gotten, because you're building those authentic connections. And it starts with the awkward, like, hey, thanks for following me. Where are you from? And the responding to messages and the responding to stories. Every time you do that, it's going to get a little less weird, and it's going to build a little more of that trust factor. Angie, anything to add? Oh, you should talk about how every time Angie texts me and Angie's like, this is not working. I'm angry. I'm not, I'm not signing up any challenge packs. This is so dumb. And I said, keep doing your invites, keep doing your invites. And then one day it's like the universe and the stars align and she hit Success Club in one day. And so it just, like, every time
They always say, like, what you do today, you won't see the results right away, but you'll see it like 6 months from now or something like that. And that's why it's so important to take the time to do those invites, because, well, that's the other thing is, like, we're in a world that we expect immediate instant gratification. We've been really on a roll about instant gratification lately, but like, that's how we are. But we need to remember, in this business, like she said, it's a compounding effect. And so it just takes time for people to come around and build the connections and the trust. But yeah, how many times have I texted Brianna frustrated, but the reality of it, yeah.
Yeah, so you just keep going, and every invite's a step closer. Okay, and to close us out, authenticity is best. So I know a lot of people have been struggling with the self-limiting belief that they're being salesy or pushy. And if you're doing this for the right reason, you're not salesy. And I can tell you, every human being on this call is doing it because they want other human beings to be better human beings. And when you come out of that place, you're not being salesy, and your story matters, and it really draws people in because of the emotion, and they feel like they can connect to you. So people are really drawn to authenticity. So don't be afraid to really share your real story, even if it is really hard to share, because facts just tell about it, right? I could post an infographic about Shakeology every day, but when I talk about, like, how Shakeology, how I eat it when I teach, because I get so hungry and hangry and I want to eat all the things, but this helps me stay on track. I think of the workout programs when I talk about, like, I was falling back into a depression. I knew that I was really struggling, but these workouts pulled me out of that. Things that really aren't the pretty parts of us, but people want authentic. People are really sick of the stupid photos that are like, look at my new bikini. Look at me doing this. Like they're really sick of that. They want to know people are real human beings. And so talk about that. I think a lot of my successes come from the fact that I talk about stuff on my page and on my stories that are true to people. Like people love when I talk, like when Shane interrupts my stories, or when I talk about what I feed Shane and what I eat, or just like things about what's really going on in our lives, because they want to know I'm a real human being and that I'm not just putting on a face to make people think my life is perfect and that they buy from me, because no one buys from someone because they think they're a perfect human being. So be authentic. All of you guys are coming from a place of love and like wanting what's best for them. So that's not going to come off salesy. Like as long as you're not messaging them and saying like, hey, I'm trying, this message gets me, and I get this message at least once a month from a network marketer. Hi, I'm really close to my goal. Would you mind looking at my product and purchasing something so I can hit my goal this month? No, I will say no every single time, because you just made it about you and not about me. Like, what do I get out of it? Like, I get a cool product, or like I get something I really don't want anyways. But if you came to me and you said like, hey, I'm really working towards some goals. Can we chat about, I don't know, my products, or like I have this opportunity for you. Would you mind talking more about it? You know, the way we approach it is completely different. None of you, I hope, I don't think any of you are coming out and saying, hi, would you like to buy a challenge pack, please, so I can make $50? Like, no one, right? Not salesy. And so when we come from a place of love and have those conversations, and the more you can talk to them, remind yourself that you are seen as a leader and you are seen as the expert. So like when you talk about Shakeology to them, when you talk about Energize and Recover, you are the one who knows what you're talking about. And the more open and honest you can be with them, like I quite frankly tell people when I send them challenge pack stuff, I say, it's on an auto ship, but there's a lot of people who are in your position. Like if I'm talking to a college kid, there's a lot of people in your position who sign up one time and they never pay again for another year, because I understand it might not be in your budget. Or if it's someone who, has like, I don't think is interested, like price is already an issue, I talk to them about like, since you're not going, like, since you probably won't do the products consistently, I get Energize and Recover, because drinking Shakeology for 1 month, yeah, it'll help you for that 1 month, but Shakeology is more of a long-term thing. So if you're just looking for something to get started, Energize and Recover is the way to go if you don't plan on ordering in the future. And then they kind of see that as like, oh crap, like you're not just trying to get the most money out of me. Like you're not trying to just like get me to do this. And so it's like, no, like I don't really care what's going on, right? So authenticity is best, and you're not going to be salesy. I think that's the number one fear we have in network marketing, that people think we're going to be salesy, but we're not. That is all. Angie, anything to add to that?
No, just being real about the stories. Like, and I like how it says, this is from the book that we read, Get Over Your Damn Self. Like, share your story even before it's totally comfortable to do so. And I wish I had done that sooner, to share all of that about like how I wasn't a sports girl in high school and all of that stuff. I think would have made a difference. But do it before you're comfortable. And we are so used to being comfortable, and being uncomfortable is what connects us to others. Like, I think about how uncomfortable I am when I do my reels, and I'm like, but this is how I am. So that's what people want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And talking about the things that are hard to talk about. Like, I'm not saying air your dirty laundry, or if there's like a deep, dark secret of yours you don't want human beings to know, that's fine. But I'm talking about like the things in life that are very relatable. Like, I think of Sarah, like struggling to find a job. Like, how many people have been struggling? Like, how many people graduate college and they're like, perfect, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to get this great job and life is going to be fine and dandy and I'm going to pay my bills and life's great. And then they're like, oh shit, like I don't have a job. Like, what do I do now? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck here. Like, people relate to those things. Or, right. Like, I think of Callahan trying to buy a house, and like, there are no houses to buy. And if they are, they're like, you're paying 20 grand over what they're actually worth. And they're piles, right? And so there's so many things in our life that like, it's not like you have to talk about how you and your husband got in a fight and, your husband said mean things to you, like, but talk about things that are actually happening in your life. Like I talk about, You know, if my students make me feel a certain way, or when I'm having rough days, or like where I was to where I am. And I think we know our story really well. So I always, when I hear on a team call, top coaches are like, you need to share your story, some version of your story once a week. I'm like, oh my gosh, but don't people get sick of that? And they're like, well, no, but you need to like continually, because not everyone's going to always see your post. And so you need to constantly be sharing and resharing. So does anyone have any questions? Jess, I like your, yeah. Jess, do you want to explain your stop saying stupid shit out loud? I think that's a really good theory.
Yeah. So it was this, I'm reading this book, listening to a book called It Takes What It Takes by Trevor Moawad, and he is all about neutral thinking. And he was talking about like the like leaders on the team that he was working with, like getting his whole philosophy, but like he needed to get the whole team on board. And he's like, the first thing that we're gonna do is just like get them to stop saying stupid shit out loud. And he was referring to stupid shit as like negative like things. You don't have to be all positive butterflies and rainbows, but just stop saying stupid shit out loud, because he talks about too all the psychology behind it. And like, but literally, like, you talk about negative things, you listen to negative things, you watch the news, you feed negativity into your life, and you speak it out loud. It's just like you were saying, Brianna, or Angie said it, I don't know which one, about like, if you constantly say like nobody's signing up, that's what's going to happen. And he's just saying the same thing. Stop saying stupid shit out loud. Like, don't. I do it all the time, but it's something that I think we all can work on, is like having, plays back into confidence too. Like just being confident in yourself, and like you're beating yourself up basically when you say like, oh, no one's going to sign up with me.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, use your energy. So like, okay, I sent out a challenge pack today, guys. And I literally oh my God, my dog is staring at me through the window. Well, you can't see her, but she's up in the window. You can see her. And she's like staring at me like, Mom, what are you doing in there? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, she's staring at me. I've been caught. And use that energy, guys. Like, I literally still throw myself a dance party, run around the room, scream at Shane and be like, I just sold the challenge pack, because it's still exciting to me. And my thing is, if it becomes boring and non-exciting to like know you're helping someone, like this is someone who like literally she's like, sign me up. I don't care what it takes. Like, I need a change in my life. And like, those are our dream people, guys. Like the people who are like, I need this more than anything because I'm a farm wife and a mom, and I feel like I'm going to rip my hair out if I don't do something. And so celebrate that and use that energy, because I'll literally dance the frick around my house, and then the universe just brings me more human beings. And like, right, I think an attitude of gratitude is where it's at. So I think when like we are excited, we can feed off that energy. When I sign someone up, it gives me so much energy to get through my invites, because I'm like, holy crap, like, okay, I did it. Use that energy. And so while I swear to God, is that a peanut butter and pickle sandwich, Jess? Okay. I still have to try her peanut butter and pickle sandwich, but I'm terrified. So use that energy, honestly, like, and create, right? A lot of times when I create my reels is after something good happened, because that's when I'm like jamming. And so, pick the times of the day you're creative to write or to create content, and just be excited. Don't let this be life sucking. Like, still celebrate. I get giddy to this day when I sign someone up. I text Angie like literally in all caps. And it's like, you'd think you'd become numb to it, but you don't ever, because when you start to realize that you are changing, right? I think of that mom. I'm not only changing her life, I'm changing her husband's life. I'm changing her 3 littles' lives. So right there is 5 people. And then you think, oh, here's one thing I wanted to make a note of. In Build to Last, this book starts with, do you know how many generations you impact as a human being? Anyone? Jess, do you remember? Pop quiz. You as an individual impact 7 generations that come behind you. 7 generations. So when I think of these people we're impacting, it's not only the 7 generations under me, it's the 7 generations under Jess, the 7 generations under Sarah, Angie Callahan, and other Sarah, right? So it makes it a lot different when I send an invite, when I realize I have the potential to change 7 generations. And if I can make those be better human beings, kinder human beings, more loving human beings, our world would be a lot better place. So I think that's a really great place to end right there. Does anyone have any questions? Picture. Angie's so smart. We got to take a picture. I don't know where this energy, I just get so fired up and I'm like, here we go. Okay, let's take a boomerang. What should we do? Anything? Something fun. I'm going to take a boomerang. Okay. Angie, put the bison away. Boo. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. I always cover up. Anyone else always cover up their face every time? I'm like, why do I do that? But okay, so that sounds good. Any questions for the evening? I'm ready to like go on Monday. So
I have questions, maybe more specific details about the free group. Like, do you need help with that, or do we just invite, like, what do you want us to do?
yeah, so I think anyone who wants to help with it, I'm going to make a post in the team page and ask who wants to help with it. And I know in the past we gave like different delegations, like one person did one post, you know, and that helped. Like if someone focuses on, like, usually I do the workouts. One thing I think would be neat is to spend, since it's 7 days, spend a day on each, like obviously it's just one post, but about each product or different products. Cause I think then when signing up, they understand what Shakeology is, what energizes, recover, and talking about beach bars. Because you get signed up and you see all these things on the website and all these emails from Beachbody and you're like, what the heck is all this stuff? And so that, and then Summer Strong. And if someone has another idea of like what our, I think of February, it was all about self-love. So we talked about self-love. I don't know what we want to focus on. Someone could do a healthy recipe, like summer recipes, right? Like grilling, stuff with veggies, that kind of stuff. And then I don't know what we want our like fun thing to be, or like our thing that's kind of the other value to it. I don't know. But I know the February one went over well. And so any ideas?
Well, we're talking about for our Get Up and Grind group, Sarah and I were talking about like Flex Friday, and we're not going to keep them all like literal Flex Fridays, but like sharing non-scale victories and stuff. Even if you did in the free group, like a daily post, like we could try to, whoever's in charge of it, like I would like ask different challengers or like coaches on our team, like what are the like things, like just thinking like Summer Strong, like what makes you like feel strong, or you know, something like with like transformation almost, you know.
When I think about that, Summer Strong, you could, start that off like what does being strong mean to you? And then you could have a day that's like, tell us about someone who you think is strong. When do you feel strong? Just kind of like digging a little deeper into like, and creating that community. And so let's run with that. I love that. Okay, I'm going to make a post tomorrow. If you do not see a post tomorrow, please message me because I forget these things. But if I post the team call tonight, I hate posting stuff back to back because then it gets lost. If you don't see a post tomorrow about the free group, let me know.
Okay.
Good questions. Any other questions? You know where to find me if you have questions.
Does anyone else find it hard to sleep on Sunday nights because you get so hyper after team calls?
Yeah. And my husband's been staying up till 10 p.m. because he thinks he's getting too much sleep. So I just stay up till 10 p.m. and then I try to get up at 4:30 and it's not a good mix. But it's great. Okay. Goodbye. I love you all. Have a great evening.